Be prepared for a frisking.
Ron Jeremy throws it out.
Half the stands are gone.
If he's sitting at the end zone, it'll reach the 20-yard line on the other side of the field.
Loose talk, even looser opinions. The Burble.
Moving away from men and their members and pimping and everything else and football, is a story about the fairer sex. And studies this week have shown, Benny, that women are more likely to become addicted to cannabis because apparently the sex hormone estrogen makes them enjoy the high more, a study has found.
Really?
Apparently. I would have thought they just like getting high because they're sick of putting up with our shit.
Okay, all right. So I didn't know that there was a thing between the sexes saying that one sex over the other will be addicted to what? It's not a barbiturate.
It's a substance.
It's a substance, yeah.
Weed.
Over the other.
Yeah, apparently.
Now, what about Canada? Can we just, before we get into this story, Canada legalised weed.
Yep.
They ran out of weed within 2-3 days. Now, I think it was already legal in Ontario.
I think so, yeah. It was kind of like had pockets of legality around where they sort of started and it moved around.
But now all of Canada is like, you want to blaze up? Come up to Canada, eh?
It's 420 every day.
You know who's going to profit more out of that with Canada now getting weed legalised?
Yeah, chip manufacturers.
Wait, you're going to have the people that are obviously selling the weed.
Yep.
And Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons is a business over there which is everywhere. Tim Hortons is sort of like a Starbucks, but man, they make some good cookies.
Oh, okay.
And donuts.
Right.
Tim Hortons, buy Tim Hortons shares. Now, that's what they're screaming at the moment on the New York Stock Exchange. They are saying, buy shares.
Buy Tim Hortons.
Buy Tim Hortons. So why are women why are they more likely to become addicted to weed? Well, as you're right, I'm just having a look here. Men are up to 4 times likely to try it and use higher doses. What are some of the names they have for weed these days? And I'm not promoting it or anything like that, but I remember back when I was young, the harshest you could get was called skunk.
Yep.
Now, why was it called skunk? Because it stank or?
Probably because of the smell of the taste.
Yeah, I haven't actually tasted a skunk, but anyway. So the difference between men and women, this is really confusing me as to, so what, it latches onto estrogen more than testosterone or?
Apparently, but apparently the estrogen makes it easier for the cannabis or the active ingredient, the THC.
The high.
To hit the women quicker. So they have, they choke down a couple of billies and they're off chops, right? Whereas blokes are sitting there pumping them out.
Punching cone after cone.
And then they finally get wasted. But apparently women, they get high. Like they get a higher high. There's so many highs there. A higher high. A higher high.
Finally hits them as like, high.
Yeah, but apparently so. So estrogen does make it better for women, but apparently it also means that it makes it a little bit more addictive.
So are you saying that females are more vulnerable at a neurochemical level to developing an addiction to cannabis?
That's what the study says. But
okay.
but don't assume it's gender. All right. But
I'm not going to assume it's gender.
No, it's probably not a good
Little
idea.
bag of weed goes, did you just assume my gender?
But yeah, apparently. But then again, they've also said that, there's a lot of other factors, whether you've got to put up with a bloke like me or you, that's going to lead to drug addiction for sure.
You know what, with weed, the only rule that I ever remember from hearing it when I was young, back when I was younger and the drug culture is more around you and all that kind of thing, is beer than grass on your ass, grass than beer, you're in the clear.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember. That's it.
Well, I can't remember anything.
Okay. Until a new study comes out now.
Yeah, apparently.
But how good would it be, though, as you're a professor doing all this kind of stuff and you've discovered this. So basically you get paid to come up with theorem.
Yeah.
Basically, like, do they bring kids in, like at universities? These are professors and go, what we want you to do today is smoke weed, unlike any other bloody day that you're here. Okay, we want you to come in and smoke weed, and then we want to find out whether or not you get addicted to it.
Apparently.
Could you sue a university because
They
apparently...
got you hooked on the devil's cannabis.
Well, because cannabis, they say, is a gateway drug.
Right.
So if they move on to something like methamphetamine, ice, heroin...
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. can they then sue the university if they're part of that study? No, I'm serious. I'd like to know that. I'd like to know that.
Probably not. There's probably a disclaimer in the no doubt War and Peace size contract you've got to sign to smoke weed at a university. It says if you go badly after this, then it's on you.
So if you go badly after this and you get addicted to cannabis, it isn't our fault.
Pretty much.
Despite the fact that we're
giving you the high quality medical grade stuff.
Have a look. Yeah, the stuff that's grown in the lab.
Yep.
I want to know, though, the professors for this, they're going to get funding.
Yeah.
So they're going to get a whole bunch of kids smashed.
Yep.
And apparently the female's going to get more smashed than the other guys.
Yep.
And then you're telling me that the War and Peace size contract, they're not going to be able to come back and do anything about it.
No.
America.
Yeah.
America.
Land of the high.
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
Halloween has been and gone. I bought lollies, as I didn't know that there was a protocol where I live where I bought a whole bunch of candy, so to speak. But apparently we had to put something on the mailbox to indicate that we were Halloween ready.
Oh.
I didn't know that. So now I've got all these Halloween candies that are sitting there doing nothing. Some people will leave Halloween, and it's a bit of a last-minute kind of thing here in Australia that they've forced on to us, which is more of an American kind of thing.
Yeah, it's slowly kind of doing
Creeping
stuff, but it's...
Because they go, hang on, we can make money off
Yeah,
this.
I'd say next year at Halloween I might not have to put the sprinklers on out the front of the house.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. Because that way they can't get to the front door.
I'm a scary ghost. Now you're wet. Keep walking.
Yeah.
Anyway, this woman, right? A cheap last-minute addition to her spooky Halloween outfit sent this woman to the emergency room in the middle of the night. So, as you need to really be careful with these things, because some people actually order these online. Now, they may be manufactured in China, they could be manufactured in Bolivia, they could be manufactured in Dubbo, anywhere. But anyway, the point is, a $4 finishing touch to her zombie outfit landed her with a trip to the dentist, which none of us like to go to, after the fake vampire fangs wouldn't detach from her actual teeth.
Hang on. She was in a zombie outfit.
Yep.
But she had vampire fangs.
Yeah.
I'm not good with that.
No, it doesn't.
No, you're switching, you're mixing your monster.
Yeah, it doesn't follow canon.
It's a mixed monster four.
It is.
Like you really, anyway.
She's from Alabama.
Ah, right.
And she used the temporary glue that came with the store-bought fangs, but after her efforts to remove the teeth, which had grown uncomfortably tight in her mouth, went until about 2 a.m. She even got a pair of wire clippers to cut the tips off, she said, but she had to go to the emergency room to do it. So they talked about drilling. They talked about a saw. They even talked about taking them off in sections, which they couldn't numb because they were actually scared they would pull her teeth out. But you know what? This is the best part about the whole story.
Right.
She said, I'll never do it again. Well, that's a given.
Yep.
But then she went on to tell them, I will never put anything like that in my mouth again.
That's what she said.
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
While we're on the subject of Halloween, Benny,
Yeah.
there's something I want to talk about. In America, there's a young lady who's going to get married.
Good. It's the biggest day of her life.
Absolutely. The
Unless you're
Institute
Elizabeth Taylor, it happens like 7 times.
Well, the first one was probably good. Then it just went downhill from there. She's probably got like a stamp card at the chapel. You know, his 7th wedding is free. And she's like, no, I'm going. I'm going to get that free one.
Oh, mate.
That's why she married Richard Burton twice. You need to pump them numbers up, bro.
Do you know what? She married Richard Burton the second time, I believe, at Michael Jackson's house.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been weird at all.
No, not at all.
No. Anyway, so there's a young lady in America who's getting married, and it's a cause for celebration. However,
Hang on, what's her name?
Amethyst Realm.
What? Hang on.
Hang on.
Now you're shitting me.
No,
Is Amethyst Realm her Fortnite, like...
Yeah, I recken it's
username,
a gamer tag or her furry persona or whatever. Anyway, old Amy here, she's hitched. She's going to get the old ball and chain. Now, the reason I mentioned Halloween there, Benny, in the beginning was because she's marrying a ghost.
A ghost.
A spirit.
A spirit.
A departed person's soul.
Is she going to marry a ghost?
I don't know.
And when the priest at the church goes, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, and the other one, is that what he's going to say?
He must do. Like
has to add an ampersand to the...
and ghost.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Ethereal Plasma. I don't really understand how this is all going to work.
She's going to marry a ghost.
Well, the problem is she's already consummated the relationship.
What?
So maybe it's one of those shotgun ghost weddings, where she's knocked up with a ghost baby.
So it's like, going to the chapel and I'm standing with no one.
I don't know. I'm a little bit dumbfounded.
Don't you think that at the Chapel of Love, though, in Vegas, if she rolls up to get married to a ghost, you got the person there that's taking the $75 fee in the Elvis costume, is going to call police to go, I think you need to section her and take her off to
No, they're going to take the $75, marry her to her ghost boyfriend and then section her. It's America, land of the capitalism.
It's called 5150, actually.
5150.
They can hold you and check your mental health.
That's all right, maybe a ghost.
So, hang on. Is this the same woman that I read about that she claims that she had 20 lovers from beyond the grave?
That's her.
She said she was walking in the bush, through the bush, and suddenly an incredible energy found her. Her new lover arrived. So she just meandering around in the bush. Now, this concerns me.
In most other places, that's going to get you hauled against the judge, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the beak will have the gavel.
Yes.
Me and you and a couple of other mates, we enjoy camping. We go out in the bush quite often. I don't know whether or not I'm going to feel the same energy wandering through the bush, meandering through the bush. Maybe I'm just not bush sensitive. To find a partner was it consummated in the bush? Like she felt the energy and just went, no one's looking. Well, bang.
No one could see anyway. Wouldn't matter. She could be doing a shopping, like in the fruit and veg aisle. And he could be doing ghostly adult things to her. And she's getting broccolini and kumquats and shit. Well, all the time she's getting paranormally pleasured. Who knows? You wouldn't know.
She's helping out at church.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I wish I hadn't had that image, but yeah.
Oh man!
She's driving to work.
And you just run into a ghost.
Yeah, wham. Ooh. I'm done. And the ghost goes to sleep.
What would you put on the you get the little commemorative pamphlets, the little flyer things that people do at their weddings. Like, welcome to the marriage of David and Michelle.
Yes.
Under hers, it'd be like, welcome to the marriage of Amethyst and Ghost. And then underneath it, it says, I ain't afraid no ghost. And then Columbia Pictures comes and sues her later on.
You get Ray Parker Jr. to do the music at the reception. But I tell you what.
If she gets married for a second time, though, it'd be like, well, Ghostbusters 2, well, it's never as good as the original.
Oh, dear.
But listen to this, though. She was walking through the bush. She said when it was to retire, because she's American, when it was time to return home, she was heartbroken, and she thought she would have to leave her new love. On the plane, she fastened a seatbelt, and she felt the presence of her lover, and she said, I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. And she reckoned she's... So we headed to the loo, and she's now a member of the Mile High Club. Those flushes on those toilets.
There's not much room in there. You'd need to be ethereal, because he'd be banging his head against the door otherwise. But he's just going in and out because he's a ghost. But imagine if Scooby-Doo and Shaggy and Freddy were on that same plane.
She wants to have a baby with her now. She went on American television and said she wants to have a baby. So they're planning a pagan hand fasting ceremony in which their hands are tied together, symbolising their connection. Now, I'm not real good with knots, okay? I got to tell you, that's going to be one difficult thing to tie.
Yeah, it is.
It's not going to be a granny knot.
Maybe they'll do, those fake dog collars that are stiff and, where dudes walk around and it looks like they've got an invisible dog. Maybe they'll put some wire in there so it looks like someone's there.
Here's the final thing, though. She doesn't actually know if her phantom is a fella.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but...
Can I just have to finish this before I lose it. Okay?
All right.
Ghost lovers tend to be more sensual and adept than the average bloke. There's always more of a connection because the sex goes beyond physical. It's like any other kind of sex. The main difference is that I just can't see them. Now, wasn't this a part of one of the 50 Shades books?
I don't want to know. The only spirit I believe in is vodka.
Loose talk, even looser opinions.
This is the best show on earth.